All right, so Ben Shapiro, again, and if you're watching this on YouTube, please do me a favor, hit that like, hit that subscribe. Y'all have been doing insane with that. Trust me. When you don't see me on camera or when you see me off and you're just watching these clips, I really do appreciate it. Both negative and positive reactions are all great for me. I love the conversations. Keep it going. Shapiro rips Pelosi and Dems over the Capitol Riot Commission. Now, this is an obvious one, but let's see what he's got to say, and then I'm moving on to gaming. So if you're on YouTube right now and you're like, gaming? You play video games? I thought you just streamed politics. Then you need to get on twitch.tv/The Paradigm Shift. It's in the description. Click it. I go live every Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Sometimes I even throw in random Monday, Saturday, and Sunday streams. That's every day that's not Wednesday. Come through, though.
Two political parties in this country that are both living in reality, and you ain't one of them.
It's a catch-22. Basically, side with Democrats or you're unpatriotic is the line.
Nope. It's funny because I just finished a segment, or hopefully that gets uploaded at the same time as this, where I was like, Ben Shapiro doesn't say dumb shit. Wow, like, this is cool. Cool, awesome. And now look, here we go again.
Either way you go, Democrats are going to claim that Republicans are in favor of January 6th.
They are in favor of January 6th. Republicans are in favor of January 6th. You know how I know? Liz Cheney got ripped off for wanting to impeach Trump and convict him, right? You had a bunch of people saying that the January 6th insurrection was a bunch of tourists. It was mostly peaceful. Like, you use that line on us and then say, oh, look at the mostly peaceful protests. I thought it was mostly peaceful. Why is there shit burning down? Why is there this? Why is there that? What happened to that? Keep that same energy. What's the bar? Take the fatigues off in 2K. I want to see the same energy. Like,
Democrats are jumping on this and saying, it sounds like Republicans are afraid of the truth. Well, it seems like Democrats are afraid of the truth if they don't want to have a broader commission based on BLM. We can play.
There we go. Whataboutism. Let's have a broader commission on BLM. Whataboutism. You are either saying, Ben, that because one wants to happen and the other one doesn't, that they're either both as bad or that we should do both. And that doesn't work. That's a circular argument. January 6th was an insurrection where they wanted to kill senators. When BLM pulls up to the Capitol and doesn't get met with the police like that, then we can have this conversation.
Play this game all day long. Basically, if you don't want an investigation of an issue because you're afraid it's going to get politicized, then we can just claim that apparently you're afraid of the truth. Here is...
Oh, because you don't want it to get politicized. Why would it be politicized? Because Republicans helped fuel the fire that caused the January 6th insurrection. Thank you for saying the quiet part out loud.
Nancy Pelosi clicking and clacking her way through this one.
It sounds like they're afraid of the truth, and that's most unfortunate. But hopefully they'll get used to the idea that the American people want us to find the truth. And that is what we intend to do, and to do it in a way that is as unifying as possible. That's why we yielded, unifying as possible. If I want
Now remember, even though the majority of Republicans voted against the January 6th commission, there were Republicans that voted in favor of it. So it wasn't a party lines thing.
to go to another committee, I would have done it sooner, but I didn't want to go there.
No, what she wanted to do was get a little bit of cover from people like John Katko so that she could pretend that it was a bipartisan commission after making it not bipartisan because the entire staffing process is controlled by Democrats. Again, you could have had an impeachment inquiry. You did. You impeached Trump on this inside of a week because it was just so urgent to get rid of Trump before he left office, like a week later. And then you held it up for several days before even submitting it to the Senate. So this is politics all the way down. Again, Nancy Pelosi pretending to stand on principle is one of the most ridiculous things in life.
I hate when the person I hate the most has made a great point. Yeah, I mean, it's easy to pick on Pelosi because I hate Pelosi as well.
Here's Chuck Schumer doing the same thing.
Letting the most dishonest president in American history dictate the prerogatives of the Republican Party will be its demise. Mark my words. Whatever that means for Democrats, it's bad for America. We all know, there needs to be a thorough and honest accounting of what took place on January 6th. The greatest attempted insurrection since the Civil War.
Okay, the greatest attempted insurrection since the Civil War? No. I mean, really, no. The greatest attempt... We literally had $2 billion in property damage over the summer with people who wanted to destroy the systems of the United States.
So that's the end of this, of me watching this, because he's not going to say anything that's super important. So I'm just going to move on to the take here. Yes, that was the greatest moment of an insurrection since the Civil War, because it was directly aimed at killing government officials because their president didn't win the election. So they wanted to overthrow the government to put him back in. And you're comparing that with the $2 billion in property damage, even though we literally give Israel way more fucking money. Way more fucking money. Okay, $2 billion in property damage, right, Ben? Take $2 billion away from the military industrial complex's $738 billion and pay for all the property damage. Why didn't the government come up with that? Why didn't Donald Trump just sign a check? He likes signing checks. See why I don't get how, like, you can be two people at once? I feel like in public, you know you're going to get G-checked if you say something dumb. So you don't. And instead, you wait till you get on your little podcast, and then you go out and say these things. And they're supposed to invoke this response in me. I understand that. But what fuels my fears so much about what you're saying is that somehow you've deluded yourself into this world in which your words don't match your movements. Karate flow. Like you're not saying the right thing. If it's really about the property damage, what was the goal of BLM? To overthrow America's systems? Or, hey, you refuse to fix the shit that's allowing police officers to just off people. Notice how I said people and not just black people. Even though it happens to black people at a higher rate, they do it to everybody. Daniel Shaver would like a word with you. What was his name? Ryan Whitaker? I think that was his name. Ryan. Let me look that up real quick Yeah, Ryan Whitaker. Ryan Whitaker. The issue is not the issue is not partisan. The issue is not one race. It's a bunch of races. It's everybody. Cops are on a power trip. That's what they do. If it's really about the property damage, then what's the goal of BLM? What's the goal of BLM? Stop having pieces of this system that allow cops to just get away with this. Stop with the housing inequality that you're forcing. Fix these systems or we will burn it down. Fix, not overthrow, fix. And in response to that, they got police, tear gas, beaten, jailed, and demonstratized on mainstream media. And demonstratized by conservatives. And in each of those steps, ladies and gentlemen, let me make this clear. In each of those steps, did not one of those people pull up to a government building. They did not pull up to the state capitals. They did not pull up to the country's capital. And when they tried to, they were met with insane force. So, maybe we should have a commission into why we didn't do the same thing for the January 6th crowd that we did for literally every other crowd. And I will always bring up Operation Legend. Let's have a commission into looking at why that was passed so quickly and what civil liberties did they violate. I still remember that trans woman that just got picked up off the fucking street. Remember that? No, nobody cares though. So Ben Shapiro is full of shit. damn, and I was just starting to, like, just today I was starting to like him. Just because I was hearing what he was saying and the other thing, and I was like, yeah, that's how you debate. There you go, Ben. You're not saying something that's terribly wrongly opinionated, and you're bringing in the both sides conflict and understand your position. And then you go and just say some shit like that. Right wing shill gotta make that money.